welcome back to another episode of the Hollywood Bound Actor Podcast. I'm Christine Horn, the booking magnet. I am so excited that you are here. If you're watching on YouTube, what's up? If you're listening on the podcast audio only, what's up? I'm so excited that you get to meet another one of my past students, amazing actress. Her name is Jasmina Garcia. Jasmina, welcome.
Wow, thank you for having me. I'm
Oh,
thrilled to be here, really.
we're both smiling really hard for real because we haven't actually seen each other in real time outside of Instagram and saying hello.
That's it. Yeah, I'm so happy. I'm very excited to see you like real time, you know. I hope one day to see you in person,
Me
but
too. Me too. I want to take a trip to Spain. Spain is on my travel list. So trust me, whenever I get there, I'm gonna reach out to you before.
you'll
For
be very welcome.
oh man, takes us back to Jasmina and I worked together in my private coaching program. At the time, it was called Inner Circle. Now it's called Rise.
Mhm.
2 years ago?
I think 4 years ago. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. I think it was 2020
So
in
before the pandemic, or
Yes, just before, no, or during, like before the pandemic, yes, but
yeah,
we got
I
it.
look, I look frozen. So I'm gonna okay, there I'm back. I'm back. So yes, it was before the pandemic. Wow, time. It feels like just yesterday. But for the audience, because people don't know you, tell us, please, who you are, where you're from, and how you got into acting.
Okay, so I am Jasmina. I'm an actor, and I am from Spain. I specifically am from an area, Catalonia, which is like a community, um, and it is in the north, Sorry, it is in the north of Spain. And I started acting actually like at home with my brother. I always wanted to make him act with me. And then when I was 5 years old, in my little village, because I grew up in a very small village, 40 inhabitants with the surroundings, and yeah, really, really small. Um, but I was very this miracles that happen in life. To my village came a couple of English people. They are like she is like my granny, and well, he passed away, but she taught me English, and we sang songs, we read books, and then she said, okay, now act this scene for me, and for me it was like everything I wanted to do. And so thanks to that, I started extracurricular classes at school, theater and circus. And I remember this first time being on stage because I was a very introverted, like very smiley, but very, very introverted or shy girl.
Mhm.
And I remember being there and feeling so free, like I could be everything, and feeling this generosity and the love from the audience and the other, my mates. um, and so I remember one parent afterwards, he said, "Oh, what? I couldn't believe this was you. Like you were a different."
Transformed.
Yes. And so from there, I just kept going with that. And then I met different teachers that encouraged me to pursue this. And so from then, I went to a drama school in Col·legi del Teatre in Barcelona. And there I met beautiful people, actors, and also my first, like I would say, mentor.
Mhm.
Uh, he was, and he is my friend, and he helped me so much with everything. And then, um, I would say. Yes, I started like afterwards, like I did a lot of theater, and then I finally got into cinema, or the screen
Mm.
world, which I so love. So
I love it. It sounds like it was a welcoming energy from the beginning.
yes,
Yeah.
yeah, I didn't actually pursue this like consciously. It was something, it met me, we acting and me, it was something, yeah, reciprocity or something.
I can believe that truly because just so when I was working with Jasmina, there's I work with people in different levels and stages and ages, but there are some people who start later on in life and say, this is what I want to do for money, for fame, for whatever the reasons are. There's no bad reasons. But then I meet certain people who are just artists. Like
Mhm.
creativity must flow through you. Like if you're not creating in some way, you're unsettled. I know that's how I am, and I feel like I connected to you in that way, learning about some of the projects that you have done back home and how you've collaborated with other artists in your area. It's always has a feeling of I must create, whether or not there is a big paycheck attached to it or not. And that comes off of you. What are some of the things now as you've grown into being a young adult that you have done that you're really proud of in where you are based? And because not you haven't just worked in your town, you've explored beyond. So what are some of the favorite things that you've done so far?
Yeah, so I've been in like, yeah, theater projects that taught me so much about resilience and about community, creating a community between actors and between the director and everyone. Um, but I would say like nowadays, like recently actually, because I met a community here in Spain one last year, um, that is called Familia de Cine, and the founders are Sumta Serna and Scott Clevedon. She is a star and here in Spain, and she was in Hollywood as well in the 80s. And they are very like experienced and talented and generous. And I was able to create with them, help produce this shooting situated in the ambience was in the medieval ages.
Ooh,
And yeah,
fun.
it was so fun. And I have these friends, they have a producing company. They build sets, they make the armors and the swords and everything. They are Alma Cobrae, and I just asked them to if they wanted to collaborate with it in this, and we did it. Scott Clevedon, he wrote the scenes, beautifully written. Assumpta produced and helped direct. It was so intense. A whole week of shooting here at home, in my house in this small village. Yes, that was quite an effort because of course the travel and it's more expensive.
Logistics, yeah.
Yeah, but it was so rewarding in many ways. And now I will be sharing the results of my scenes because I always was also acting in
Yeah.
there. Yeah, and
I love
that's something I'm very proud of. Yeah.
Yeah, and you should be. And I've seen it, and I'll definitely leave Jasmina's social links in the show notes so you can see just some other things you've done. Just again, I'm very drawn to you. I'm always drawn to your eyes. I'm drawn to your spirit. And just the way you're so grounded, like in your work. I know when we worked together, I threw all kinds of scenes and characters at you.
Oh, and I must say, Christine, when I met you, I was, in like a little reset or like a little pause. I was painting a lot, I was creating a lot because, as you said, is a need
Mhm.
to be able to be well, feel good. But I was listening to your podcast And I remember something hit me so strongly. And you said something like, you can have this vision of being an actor and this dream, but if you hide, are you hiding or not? Oh my
Yes,
goodness.
that's the tough one. You can't be a secret and a success.
That's it.
Yes.
That and I stopped painting and I was like, I've been hiding my whole life in a level, not on stage, or not performing, but as the business part, or like. And that's why, and I got in touch with you, but also because of the vibes you gave me. You are so inspiring, and yeah.
Yeah, it's a one of those moments when you look at yourself, because we can, and this is interesting, because of course we encourage creativity. We always, I like to say, you got to love it. Do it because you love it. Don't do it just for the money. And we can
Mhm.
hide behind the creativity only and avoid the things that could catapult us to the next level, making those connections, networking, doing the thing that stretches us. So I love that that was a light bulb moment for you. Um, and it forced you to shake some things up.
Mhm.
Since I have you here specifically, I must talk about this because I have a huge audience who are not just based in the United States, especially shout out to my TikTok audience and the podcast audience, who I get questions all the time, Jasmina. And people say, I want to act, but I live in a small town. Or I want to act, I live in a small country, and I want you all to hear Jasmina is from how many were people when you were growing up? You said about 40 growing up.
The inhabitants with the surroundings. Yeah.
But you still managed to tap in. Can you speak to what went on in your mind? Because is there, I think I'm thinking too fast.
Mm.
Is there a part of you that has felt like I want more, but I can't get to it, or this is what I have around me, and I'm going to make the best of it? And it's okay if it's been all of it, but can you talk a bit about that?
Yes, of course. It's been all of it. But I do think it's a state of mind mostly, because at some point I was like, oh, I think I need to be in a big city where everything is happening, where I can meet people. But really, going out to the world means other things. Like, for example, to me, at some point I was like, okay, after being with you, I was like, okay, I will just, as a year resolution, have, I will put myself out
Mhm.
in the world. And so that's when I met Familia de Cine. And I met through them, Assumpta Serna and Scott. I met other directors and actors who are friends for life, and writers and producers, and it's all online, you
Mhm.
know? And also, I think we have to have in mind, or at least for me, it's very important to have in mind that I'm an actor in my core.
Mhm.
I'm not waiting to be validated outside, because so then I have to ask myself, okay, if I'm an actor, what my actor needs and loves to do, right? So if I love acting, of course, I will self-tape myself. I will be searching for scenes that I like or writing them, and then just self-taping at home with a reader that helps me. Or you know, maybe go for a week with some friends to the city because I have a place to stay there, and see if I can go to that event specifically. But most importantly, I think surrounding yourself with a community. For example, the Hollywood bound actors, I remember being my first like real beautiful and big community in the world internationally. And that gives you a lot of strength and a lot of, yeah, you feel like not alone, you feel empowered. and you can count on other people. You can count on other people. No. And here in Spain is the same. Like, I think it's very important to me to find this human team that grows and that we can help each other, instead of thinking that I will be threatened or other people feeling threatened by me. That's a nonsense, because we are unique.
Yeah.
And nowadays also, from home, I can self-tape more and more after the pandemic. It's very, very usual to the first
First
test.
round.
The
Are
first
you taping more for things right now that are in Barcelona or the UK? Where is the bulk of the things that you're doing for theatrical or on camera work?
Yes, like most of the things, it depends, but right now is for Barcelona. Although I have done things like for co-productions with the UK. Also, I'm not very Spanish standard, the profile we've talked about that.
Yeah.
So, and with my English, I really have more like to go to Europe, through around Europe, or to the United States, or but one day. So yeah.
Yeah. I think
Mhm.
that's so helpful to hear. And I hope you're receiving that. If you take anything away, what I heard is, first of all, make the most of where you are. And also, if you're an actor, period. And that's usually people say, what's the first step to becoming an actor? And I say, declare it, say it, own
Yes.
it, because everything you do after that will be in alignment with what you say you are, right? If I'm an actor, what does an actor do? I didn't get into it, but some people they disagreed with me on TikTok. I made a TikTok a few months ago that said, the time to act is now. If you want to become an actor, do it now. Like, just go, start. And people were like, no, now is not the time. You shouldn't do it. You should study. You should just be studying. And I was like, well, duh. Like,
Yeah,
if
can be both
if
actually.
you're not claiming to be an actor, what are you studying for? So the first step is to become one. And then
Yeah.
you operate within that. Okay, before we get back to this episode, I want to make sure that you know that I offer audition coaching. So if you're an actor who wants me to coach you privately on Zoom with your upcoming audition, no worries. Visit hollywoodboundactors.com/coaching. You and me, we're going to get you ready to book more TV. It's not
Yeah.
about get an agent now or take headshots now. I said, just if you're going to say you're an actor, now's the time.
And I truly believe if you are in that state, things move, and if you keep creative and aligned with your purpose and your uniqueness,
Mhm.
not trying to be someone else because you admire them, which is good, but try to be yourself, um, then I truly believe movement brings movement. And
Mhm.
so we have to make sure that that movement is aligned with ourselves, our potential,
Yeah,
right?
yeah,
So yeah, so
yeah.
every time that
Um, I talk to a lot of people about, our industry is like this, it's a roller coaster, ebbs and flows, ebbs and flows. Um, can you talk a little bit about how you personally deal, process, con the slow quiet moments? We talk a lot on this podcast recently about, you know, maintaining not survival jobs to fund
Mhm.
our life and our lights and our food and our bellies, right? But how do you balance the mental aspect of when it is slow and there doesn't seem to be enough amount of momentum that you desire? What are some ways that you keep yourself together?
Yes, that's crucial. Yeah, for example, I have some tools that work for me, um, but they vary, because what I try is to hear like listen to myself every day, to ask the question every day, as a commitment to myself. But for example, I will go every day, if possible, for a walk. And that like seems very obvious or like something good, okay, but it's more than
Yeah, you connect.
everything. Yeah, your brain rewires and connects ideas which nourish your imagination. Also, the movement, keeping moving forward psychologically, is telling to our head that we are going forward with everything. So that's one thing I might do as a tool, you know, and because also I enjoy it. But then, as you know, the artist way from Julia Cameron, oh,
Yeah,
amazing tools there. There's this automatic writing
yeah,
that
the morning pages.
morning pages, yes, and that declutters my mind and mm, gets rid of this heaviness and gives me like after a while I see that I get access into my subconscious to my subconscious, so then the ideas are coming and flowing, and you know I get new ideas and things to, oh, solutions even for solving problems.
Mhm.
um, And yes, and also another very important thing for me that works amazingly, and I think we very often neglect it, is nutrition.
Mm, mm.
Because, yes, like our gut and our brain is connected, and I'm a very sensitive person, and everything, my body notices everything, the reaction, you know. So for example, for me, will be not eating processed foods, sugars, and like maintaining my glucose spikes
Mhm.
very flat if I can. Gluten, you know, all that stuff. Because believe it or not, I was more irritated if I was
Yes.
spiking.
I think
And
a lot of us are irritated and don't realize why we are. And the diet has so much to do with it.
so much to do. And once I feel clean, like, you know, I have more vitality, mental clarity, and I feel more stable.
Yeah.
So from there, then I can think better and find solutions, like how will I earn money now because I'm in a low moment, or you know, and ideas come, solutions come, but because I'm feeling more stable, more in peace, or at peace. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, I love that so much. I think our diet and health sometimes outside of just physical, I'm getting a six pack, we
Mm.
can put it to the wayside, and not realize how impactful it all does affect us, like, and weigh us down. And especially, I mean, we all have different vices and things, but think about when times are slow, or if you didn't book the job you wanted to book, and sometimes people go to comfort foods, eating, drinking, drugs, alcohol, all the things. And I think starting with yourself, being in tune to yourself. I love that you said you ask yourself questions and you get curious about what is it you're thinking. Like getting quiet is so wonderful. I really, when you said walks, I'm like, oh, like I know I have a dog and we go on walks, but like I want to go on the walk.
Yeah.
You're coming with me because I need to walk. I need to clear my head. And a lot of times I'll walk with no music, just allow just whatever needs to come through, like no distractions. Because
Yes.
I didn't realize, I don't think we realize sometimes how distracted we are from social media. And I'm like a person who loves to learn. So I'm like podcasts and YouTube and I want to learn. I'm like, sometimes just,
Yes. Yes.
just,
Yes. That's essential.
yeah.
Because we are nowadays, and I'm very lucky if I live in a small village. The impact is very different from a city, of course, but all this, how to say, stimulus? No.
Stimuli, like stimulation.
Yeah.
Hmm.
The noises and everything really affects us. So quiet moments are very, very vital. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, they are. So, if you're listening and you haven't had a quiet moment in a while, this is your reminder. This is your
Mm.
reminder. to have I sit here in even when I sit in my office, I always light a candle and I
Oh,
just
yes, I have.
center myself. Yes. The vibe, you see the vibes. Um, okay, we're gonna get ready to wrap soon. I love this conversation. Tell me, just for the sake of the recording, and so we have it for prosperity, what is a dream type of role for you, for Jasmina? What would be a dream to do?
I would love, oh, so many. Okay. One would be in a fantasy adventure, like epic movie, kind of.
Love it.
Um, and a very like a strong, resilient female. Um,
I can see that.
with yeah, with with a big heart, I guess, but very strong and yeah. Um, yeah, I would like to perform something like this.
Okay,
Yeah.
I need to ask this question more of my guests. That way we have it, we have proof. So when it happens,
Yes.
pull this podcast back and say, remember back in 2024 when you said that? I love it. And so it is. And so it is. And so it shall be. I'm excited. Before we wrap, I've asked everyone this question and I'll make it, I'll tailor it to you though. And I would like you to answer this first in English and then end it in Catalan.
Okay. Mhm.
Because, I mean, why not? International. Um, but for the artist at home, especially, I want you to especially speak to the young person who lives in another country outside of the US and they see these big dreams and they feel like, will this ever happen for me? What encouragement would you like to pour into them? Um, yeah, love on them.
Yes, I think I will say our uniqueness to each of you is a miracle. We are here because we are miracles. It's by the probability we are alive and born in this world is so small, and yet we are here. So if we are here is because we have meaning and value and a purpose. And so if we are in tune with this purpose, our own, not others, but our own, then there's the receiver of that. There is the other side. It's a must, you know? So now in Catalan or
Yes, I was saying the same thing, but I'm
or
like,
Spanish?
come on. Well, however, whatever you pick.
Ok. Tienes que estar alineado con tu ser, con tu propósito, porque nuestra vida es un milagro y, y si estamos vivos es porque tenemos un valor, un sentido, a meaning, un sentido. Y de ese modo quiere decir que hay un receptor de ese valor. There's a receiver for this value we are, this meaning, right? So it will be met. And I know this sounds very spiritual, but
Yes, but come on, that's what we do here. Come on.
it is very real. Like spirituality is not only a concept, is real, is life. So yeah.
Thank you. You all see why I love me some Jasmina Garcia. I'm so grateful to attract the artists into my life that I have attracted. Um, I I learned a long time ago, Jasmina, when I started coaching, that all money is not good money. That
Mhm.
I'm very selective and I let my intuition guide me when I say yes to pour into someone and to commit to time spent with people. And my time with you has always been so wonderful. Today you make my heart smile. And you just warm my soul and it just reminds me
You.
of why I do what I do. So I thank you. Muchas gracias.
Muchas
Or
gracias.
just gracias. I gotta practice before I come to Spain, I had to practice.
Oh, you have to. You sound so lovely. You're Spanish.
Thank you.
Yeah. And I feel the same. I feel the same. We got connected because I I admire and I love your energy, and that you were somehow a mirror of my own potential and my own the things I wanted to build, and to create daily. And you're so strong, and I love having you in my life. Whether it's following you on Instagram for tips and tricks or or motivation, um, or just talking to you like this. So thank you for having.
And thank you all for watching or listening to the Hollywood Bound Actor podcast. As always, don't be stingy. If you enjoyed this podcast, make sure you share it with an actor friend who could use some inspiration and motivation and some tips, like Jasmina said. We have hundreds of episodes. This podcast has been going on for some years. So do yourself a favor, and especially on the audio version, check out some of the hundreds of episodes that we have, and look out for more amazing interviews coming up. Remember that you have a gift that the world needs to see. So don't cheat yourself and play small and hide, okay? And don't cheat us. So until next time, continue to shine bright like the star that you are. Peace.